країн. Для хлопця це виявилося повною несподіванкою.
Hey everybody, Frank Finance here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the humor at the beginning of the video. Alibaba, as you probably already know, is up 36% today. And in the Hong Kong market, they're also up around 8 or 9% right now. Go ahead and show both of those right here. But the question really is this the end of the problems for Alibaba, and why did they jump in the first place? Well, to answer the second question first is essentially they jumped because the CCP basically came out and said, or a member of came out and said that they would be willing to work with the SEC to avoid any delisting of Alibaba ADR shares. Now, that has been said plenty of times before, and every time a new delisting statement comes back out, we start to see a slide in the name. It's like people are, forget about it 2 months from now, it's back in the headlines, and then you start to see selling off. And this statement, again, is just another reiteration by the Chinese government. Again, on both sides here, whether you want to blame the U.S. regulators or Chinese regulators, it doesn't really matter. We need to see some action if we really think that delisting is off the table. So expect in the future that some sort of news is going to come out and say, hey, look at ADRs. They still are going to be delisted. They still have that timeline for 2024. Just the first 5 names were put out there in the news, and more will probably be added to possibly be being delisted, including Alibaba, among other big, Chinese tech firms. And that's not to say that it's not worth investing in, nothing along those lines. The question really is are you really in Alibaba because you understand the risk, or are you just going along with it? So if you're invested in Alibaba at this time, you probably are already aware of those risks. And every time this comes out, you're probably kind of going, why is everybody reacting like this is new news? Like, there really hasn't been any new news around delisting and this whole regulatory stuff in probably a year and a half since this went to effect in early 2021. So the act we talked about that specifies that they can get delisted in 3 years. So that specifically is not new news. And so and again, the Chinese government has been saying since that date that they'd be willing to work with U.S. regulators. So nothing's fundamentally changed about Alibaba. And so seeing a 36% increase is probably just due to them being incredibly beaten up over the last 5 to 7 days. Has just been an incredible slide, probably dropping, I think, around 23, 25, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. But either way, it's been an incredible slide for Alibaba over the last week and a half. And so this bump up with news that is, again, the slide down was on news that was just kind of like, okay, why are you upset about delisting threats again? And then on the other side is, why are you surprised that the CCP is going to come out and say the same thing? So again, I'm getting a little bit repetitive in here and just saying that, again, nothing new has changed here. And so it's really kind of crazy that the price action is what it is. 36% of a very large company that is well known. The financials are well known. This is not some sort of biotech company biotech company that's coming out with some new innovation that passed regulatory, and now they've opened up the door to make money finally after losing it. No, this is a large company that's been making money, will continue to make money. Now the second question and the real moneymaker here, is this the end of the slide for Alibaba? Is this the bottom? Have we already seen the bottom for Alibaba? And the question is, we really don't know, and anybody who tells you that they do is lying to you. What I can tell you is that, again, Alibaba rose 36% today. Hong Kong went up 25% last night. They're currently up in Hong Kong they were up 14% at one point, down around 4 or 8%. So that would match roughly where a U.S. traded, maybe off by a couple percentage points on the lower side. And so that could just be catching Hong Kong up to the US bump. But moving forward, again, just expect volatility in Alibaba, understand the risk associated with it, and just make sure that you're comfortable with it. If it's something that's making you stay up at night, now might be a good time to exit, because I honestly, it could continue to go lower. You never really know here. So just don't be like the guy in the video. Just you gotta have a little bit of calmness about you. You gotta be a little bit relaxed, and and have a little bit of humor with it, because the back and forth between oh my gosh and oh wow, oh my gosh, oh wow, it's crazy. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Frank Finance.